It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are, it's crazy winning. Now then, how are you? It's Monday again. How was your weekend? Let me know if you had a good weekend. What did you get up to? What's the weather like, etc. Let me know where you are watching from in this crazy world. Anyway, it is Monday again. I didn't come on live, I don't think, over the weekend. I've been painting up on my solarium. It's been very, very hot, but nice. Yeah, just it has been nice, but very, very hot. Once 11 o'clock comes, that's it. You can't do anything. 11 o'clock in the morning, I mean, even painting up on the roof, it was like just a couple of hours a day. You can't just spend all day up there. It's far too hot. For those of you who don't know, I'm here in Spain. It is currently, it says on my computer, muy húmedo, very humid. It doesn't say what the temperature is. I think it's about 20, 22 degrees, something like that. And you had a good week. Got something productive doing also for you. I hope you did something nice for you over the weekend. So now here we are today. We're later on today. The trial of little Preston Davy will continue, and there was some news over the last few days about another little one whose case we followed. And I just wanted to update you on what has happened. Do you remember this case of little Emmanuel Haro? Another little one, treated badly to the point of death by the people that are supposed to care about him. Just unbelievable, isn't it? But anyway, before we get into it, let me just say thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's completely free. Special thank you, as always, to my members. Special thank you to those of you who send Ko-fis, etc. I'm going to my little shop in the coach. Hopefully later today. Extra things up there, extra merchandise, which is a little bit special to Vicky Marie Chats. But yeah, thank you. Thank you to anyone who's PayPal me. Thank you. Now, I've not been very, just haven't had much time, and also the heat and everything. When I do get a little bit of spare time, I just sort of, crash out somewhere. But yeah, so I've been brilliant at answering emails. I'm sorry about that. I will get around to them. Also, even comments, I haven't. I read all the comments, and I do like to reply to them, but I haven't been brilliant at that over the weekend. So I will be getting around to that. Hello, you lovely lurkers. How are you? How the devil are you, as they say? Well, there's definitely the devil is really working his magic, isn't he, in the world at the moment. And honestly, the more I think about it, I think the devil is here, and that's what happened in this case. I think the devil sort of, everyone's susceptible to do bad things, aren't they? And some people just are too weak. So yeah, and hello to replay crew. A few people in there. Hey Sean. Hey Melbourne. First day of winter. Oh, swollen finger, not sure why. Maybe slept on it. Funny. I know that sounds weird, but hi Tracy. Hi Paul. There you go. So, yeah, we looked at this case. He's got a chance to have a life. His life was taken by the very people who are supposed to care about him. So, this guy, this is probably the culprit. This is his dad, Jake. He's already been sentenced to 25 years. Now, every picture I ever see of little Emmanuel, he looks like he's got, I don't know, there's something wrong in his eyes, isn't there? Now, is that because of what Jake was doing to him? Because it seems like Jake had, I'm just trying to think of what you can say that YouTube won't pull you up on. But Jake had done bad things to this boy ever since he was born. Now, as far as we know, not sex things, not like Preston Davy, you know, but he did every other form of abuse that you can imagine. But we don't know exactly because this little boy's body has never been on. So this POS, Jake Haro, his father, his own biological father, did something to this baby that meant he was unalived, and we don't know where he is. Again, he's just never been found. A lot of searches done for him. Then Jake has gone out there with the police. Maybe he was trying to, maybe he just forgot where he put him, and he's so small he can't be found. I don't know, but let me tell you now, the police are not looking anymore, or they don't seem to be. There are people out there looking. There's a Facebook group. There are people who are still looking, going out and doing just individual searches, just trying to find a boy to give him some dignity. But it's very difficult. This is a year ago now. Nearly a year that this happened. So please, then about injuries like that, we don't know exactly what. Anyway, Jake, and also the outrage, the absolute outrage about this. Let me just tell you where it happened. It was in the USA, and wasn't it in Florida somewhere or near Florida? Let me just. San Bernardino. They were this piece and Emmanuel's own were arrested in August 2025. This was their biological son, so they supposed to care about him. This is the mum who's just pled guilty and been sentenced. Both as bad as each other, aren't they? Jake and Rebecca Haro, the difference between them seems like it's Jake who, actually did the bad things to Emmanuel. But you know what? Rebecca went along with it. I do feel that Rebecca was scared of Jake. So do you remember when she was arrested? Sorry. So what happened was they came up with this ridiculous story. Rebecca said she was outside a shop. Sorry, I'm worried. So Rebecca had said they were in the parking lot of a shopping mall, and she was changing the baby, and some Mexican of all things. I mean, they are Hispanic and they cast shade on a Mexican, and it was at the time of all the feverish. Well, it's still like that probably in America, all the sort of xenophobia that there is, anti-immigration, etc. So everyone's screaming, "Oh, it's a Mexican did it! A Mexican did it!" Because she said this Mexican said, "Hola," punched her in the face. She went unconscious, and when she came round, the baby had disappeared. So that was the beginning. The police didn't really buy it, so they had them in their sights. Anyway, of course, it turned out she did have a black eye, though, having said that. And this is what I'm saying, that's probably Jake who did that. Jake is, that one of the most shocking things that came out of this whole case was it turned out that Jake had actually put another child of his in hospital who nearly died and has been left with terrible brain injuries and will need 24-hour care for the rest of her life. I think she may be about 8 now or something, but he did it to the other little girl, his daughter. She was a little bit older than Emmanuel, but he wasn't given a custodial sentence. The judge felt sorry for him and decided to give him another chance. Terrible, isn't it? He was let free again. Well, he was never incarcerated, I don't think, or he might have spent a few days in prison or something. And this little boy has lost its life because some judge out there somewhere decided to feel sorry for Jake, even though he battered his daughter to the point of her having brain damage. But the judge said, what? Oh, you won't do that again. He's learned his lesson. I mean, just unbelievable, isn't it, really? That judge should be prosecuted, in my opinion. Anyway, let him out. And then he got together with Rebecca. And I'm sure he was hitting Rebecca. I mean, she did have a massive black eye when she came out with this story of the baby being kidnapped from the park lot in shopping mall. Jake who gave her that black eye. And, I'm sure she was terrified of him, but her opportunity, when the police arrested her initially, that was her opportunity, wasn't it? Once she was removed from Jake, that was her opportunity to tell the truth about what happened to baby Emmanuel, and she didn't. She stuck by Jake, even though, she was safe when she was in police custody. I mean, maybe she thought, oh, well, he's got away with it again. If I say something, maybe he'll get released and he'll come and get me. I can't even understand the way people like this think. I understand that she would have been scared and it would have been, she'd have to find her opportunity to go to the police. But she could have, anyway, she didn't. So in fact, they both pled not guilty at first. So Jake has been given 25-year sentence. Still not enough, is it? 25 years. Baby has lost its whole life. That should be relative, shouldn't it? In some way, surely. This baby has been denied probably, 70 years of life. That might have had it not been injured. I mean, I do feel that Emmanuel, even on the photos that we see of him while he was still in this world, he doesn't look very well. So God knows, when you think about what Jake did to his daughter, would have anyway, just the way he looks like he'd been back to me. I was, in between sort of pain. And, we are genetically programmed to care for babies. Not only our own babies, You know, we are genetically programmed. It's in our genes. It's in our, you know, part of our makeup to look at a baby, not think, oh, let's punch it in the face, or let's abuse it in an sex way, like and John. You know, we are programmed to care for our young. That is, you know, that is one thing we share with the animal kingdom as well. You know, that is, so to some people that do these terrible things, you know, they should, um, Emmanuel should have been protected by his parents, shouldn't he? How could they harm him to the degree as well of actual killing him, and then dump his body like it's a piece of garbage? But you know, parents do it every day, and biological parents do it. We're outraged by the press. I'll be following that later. The trial will resume today. They're not biological parents. They were adopted, going through the process of adoption. But even biological parents, it's sort of beyond to think how how can okay, anyone can lose it in a fit, but this systematic abuse of a little tiny baby to the point of actually killing it, then discarding it like a tissue or a sweet wrapper, bit of rubbish. Just, it's breathtaking, isn't it? So Jake got 25 years. That doesn't seem enough. Wait till you hear what Rebecca got. So I mean, I think they'll get punished more in the next life. Uh, yeah. Well, that been in custody for ages. So if she's got a black eye now, it's not him who's caused it. Don't know what, because she's been in custody. She's not been, you know, she's not been released since August when she was arrested. So yeah, don't know why she got her hair like that. Maybe she just likes it like that. I don't know. Maybe she hides behind it. I don't know what sort of reception mothers who kill their babies get in prison. They're probably not be good. She is, of course, a double deviant because, you know, not only she's done what she's done, but being a woman, like, people tend to come down heavier on women who do things like this, you know, because we don't expect mums to do it. You know, we don't expect dads to do it, but mums especially. And it's just amazing, isn't it? How much this happens. The more you look into it, sadly, it's quite a lot more common than you think. I just don't understand how you could put a man before your baby. You know, once you've had a baby, you know how it feels. You do anything to protect them, and that never goes away, even when they get older and they start, even when they're teenagers and not nice to you, and you never lose that feeling, you know, of wanting to protect them. They're always your baby, really. You know, I understand somewhat than Rebecca. I'd even understand Stefan Stern's mom more than that, because she's still, you know, Stefan Stern's shit, and so he is is more expect of others. Rebecca didn't cared about Jake more, but you know, how could you let a man do that uh, and not do anything about it? Yeah, she would have been scared of him, but once the police arrested him, and she could have told him the whole story. But anyway, there you go. She didn't. She didn't, and I don't know. I sort of almost give up in trying to understand these people. You know, You don't want to understand them really, because it's not good to be able to understand how they think, is it? We don't want to understand how they think. Anyway, just let me read you what's happened. So within the last couple of days, she has pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Let's share this. So she's not pleading guilty to murder. I don't think Jake pled guilty to murder. I think that's probably why he was only given 25 years, which is not enough, is it, for killing a baby? 25 years. Because he's only in his 30s, you know. So I think, so maybe even younger. So he's going to get another chance at life if he gets parole. If he gets granted parole after 25 years, anyway. We have to remember that but he's eligible for parole. Well, his sentence is finished after 25 years. So, okay, let's have a look. So, Emmanuel is sentenced to more than 12 years. 12 years. Because you know what? It's not who came up with afterwards, and as I say, dumping him like a piece of rubbish. So, he was 7 months old. He went missing in August 2025. But they've dealt with this case quite quick, haven't they, compared to some of the ones we're still waiting for. So she pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter in connection to his death and was sentenced to more than 12 years in prison. So she pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter, child endangerment, and being an accessory to murder after the fact. Under a plea agreement. She was sentenced to 12 years and 8 months in prison. 12 years and 8 months. So they were arrested in August 2025 after San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department investigators determined that claims that their infant son Emmanuel was kidnapped, because this is what they claimed, outside of Jake. So he's only 32. I mean, so let's say he serves 25 years. He serves his 25 years, because won't he probably get some time off for good? I don't know how it works in America. Little Emmanuel has been denied life completely. He's lost about 70 years. 25, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Rebecca's and for filing a false police report. In March, she had a settlement conference where she chose to go to trial. So initially, she had told authorities she was changing her son's nappy when she was, and who said "Hola" and then punched her in the eye. But during their officials determined there were inconsistencies in her story. CBS LA. Is it CBS? I hate these initials. After investigators confronted her, she stopped giving interviews. It's always a sure sign when people stop teens, and investigators said they recovered a large amount of surveillance video from the area for review at the time. Now, of course, the problem is, of course, we don't get to hear what happened. It's good when they plead guilty, but we won't get to see I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, it was whirring quite a long time there. Hi, computer. I can't wait. Anyway, I think you can hear me now. Of course, is we don't get to hear the evidence. You know, we don't get to see the CCTV, I suppose. God, these blooming things. There you go. So, yeah, going back to the. So the investigators quickly thought their account didn't add up. He had been arrested and charged in 2024 for illegal possession of a loaded firearm and probation violations. And as the investigation continued, it was found out that his ex-wife had filed a domestic violence restraining order against him. And in 2023, he pled directly to a Riverside County court on a child cruelty charge. So, you know, at the end of the day, if the judge had done So yeah, if that judge, I suppose if Jake would have been born, I suppose, I don't know, but so the judge has got blood on his hands. In my opinion, he should have Jake. Computer is a pain in the ass. Updates. I hope you've managed to hear most of it. I hope you've managed to hear most of it. I wanted to give you the update. So Rebecca Haro, 12 years. Apparently you can go and corroborate in the murder of a baby, and you only get 12 years. So, fill your boots, might as well go and kill it. Is driving it. Keeps telling me I've got an unstable internet connection. Plug in directly to your router. I am plugged in directly to my router. But it's got to be the computer. It's not the internet connection, because the internet on the phone is fine. It's ironic, isn't it, when it's ironic when people who are not even your flesh and blood care more about you than your own flesh and blood do. So there you go. But thank you for caring about this little one. I'll see you really soon in the next video, when hopefully the computer will be behaving better.